Today I want to share with you guys the conversation that I had with coach Aleksandar Maksimov, former professional player, experience in Germany, Italy and many other countries. He's from North Macedonia, and besides all this, he's a UEFA B licensed coach. So my guest today, coach Aleksandar Maksimov. All right? Check it out.
Hey Igor, how are you?
Hello, coach. How are you?
I'm very good, very good. You?
Very good, thank you. What time is there?
12 p.m. 12
Uh,
p.m. It's noon.
okay.
Yeah.
So, wow. Thank you so much. Thank you for coming. Thank you for joining me.
Thanks for the
And
invitation.
yeah, I'm very excited to have this conversation. I'm trying to talk to coaches all over the world, and I'm from Brazil. I left Brazil when I
Mm-hmm.
finished my graduation.
Mm-hmm.
And I started to travel. I went to Ireland, and then I went to Denmark, and then I went to Scotland, and then I went to England, uh, USA, Portugal, Spain, Germany. Trying
Well,
to leave my Brazilian box. Because in a country like Brazil, it's very usual. People say, "No, it's fine. We know everything. We have 5 World Cup titles, all these things." And I never um, I never bought this idea because I
mm-hmm.
think you have to see different realities, different outcomes, different box, different point of views, different ideas, all these things. And so when I have the opportunity to talk to people like you, completely different culture from us in South America, this is very, in my opinion, this is very good. This is when you learn something, you know what I mean? So,
Of course, in my opinion, yes. Look, football is a sport that you can connect a lot of people for the same purpose. And if you use the tools in the right way to learn from each other, you can develop yourself as a person, as a human being, and then after as a coach. Because at the end of the day, no matter on what level you're working at the moment, you can work with players across the whole world, different cultures, different qualities. Um, and you need to adapt to those people and to put them, in the same pot. You're the guy that is putting those players, those human beings in the same pot, and then the product is what we see on the TV, the result, or this team plays good, yes, but let's see 1, 2, 3, 4 years how they build the squad, how they select the players, how they bring all the players in together. For me, it's an amazing way to promote also the culture of the country, habits, and everything.
yeah, yeah, of course, yeah, I agree with that. Thank you, coach. Yeah, thank you. So I was looking at your resume.
Mhm.
You have a lot of experience in different countries, Germany, Italy. So how do you see today? Just no, before that, I would like to ask you if you can share with us a little bit of your career, like the challenge you have. How did you start, as a soccer player or football player? So and then from that you can start, see something different. How a little bit about you and your career.
Look, when I started training at my age in Macedonia, we didn't, to be honest, we didn't have the right tools, or maybe the right. When I see now from this perspective, we didn't have the right coaches to guide us properly in that period of building the player. Because here you have a lot of natural talented kids, but the way of how that player is built, it's very the approach is not very modern, not very sophisticated. At that time, we had coaches who used the old, as we say, Yugoslavia method of working, a lot of runnings, not much with the ball, not much how we read the game, how we understand the game, what the game is bringing on a higher level. Also, as a human being, for me, football is a way to express yourself and your qualities on the pitch. But I have some obstacles also with stuff outside of football. It was in the Balkans in general at that time. Even now, it's a lot of corrupted sport. You need to have the right environment, the right people around yourself to try to get a chance to go in a higher level or get outside of the country. But for me, I think most important thing in now I'm saying that to my players, in whatever situation you are or whatever whatever life brings to you, you need to give 200% of yourself. Maybe at that moment it won't be enough, but maybe that 200% will build you for something which is coming next after football or whatever in life.
Okay, I understand. All right. So in your career, did you have any problems? Of course, you don't need to tell names, but did you have problems like false promise, like, oh, let's go to this country, let's do this, for or problems with fake agents or anything like this?
I had that. To be honest, I had that from people that I thought that they are close to me and they were thinking, good for my career and myself. And even to be honest, now as a coach, you have the same people just in a different situation. So those people was here before, they are now, they would be in the future. It's to us to read what they want and to put them away from our lives and careers.
Yeah. I mean, asking because in South America we see a lot of problems. They take the kids there, 17, 18, 19 years old, a lot of dreams, a lot of things, and then they go to Europe or go somewhere else, and all of a sudden, boom, the young players there by himself, and have to survive, and maybe doesn't have money to come back or to go back to the.
I
Yeah,
have I had teammates to say from Brazil that they were in the same or similar situations. I have a contacts from players to say from Argentina, from Bolivia, countries like that, which is stuck on the Balkans or in general in Europe. They have quality, they are good players, but they choose to trust the wrong people, and now they put themselves in a difficult situation because it's one thing that I am looking at my colleagues and to say myself, we need to prepare those players, no matter, again, I will say the level. We need to prepare them that in the world of football, there's no glitz and glam. There's bad people there. They want to use you. They don't think, all of them, they don't think good for you. For me, if you're a manager or a guy who wants to invest in young players, develop them, you need to invest in that player, not in money or whatever. You need to put that player in the right environment with the right coach in the right club so that player can blossom and can show the talent, and then everything else will follow.
yeah, exactly. Yeah, Coach, I saw in your resume, uh, you like to play, if I talk about, you said positional framework in your resume. So
Yeah.
you like to play 3-4-3?
It depends. It depends. First, I use 1-4-2-3-1 because it's very easy, during the game the players to have switching positions to
Mhm.
make overlaps. It's maybe most used formation at the moment, but what is important are the principles, because if the players knows the principles of what we want, how we play, you can put them in any formation.
Yeah,
It's easy. And also during the game, it depends which phase of the game it is. It depends if we are in possession, if the opponent have possession. It's changeable, so it's the formation for me most of the time it's on the just on the paper.
yeah, all right, okay. Yeah, I just thought very nice, very curious because usually it's not usual, it's not easy, or you don't see much, this 3-4-3, and it's interesting. I look in your resume, and how is your, right now you are working in North Macedonia, right?
No, I was in Greece at the moment
Okay,
for the last season. At the moment, I have some offers from other clubs
okay,
because my contract ended. So at the moment, I'm looking where to continue. I'm looking for a project, not just to go in the club. I want a project where at least we will have 1, 2, 3 years to build a squad to make something good. Because it's not easy thing to build a squad if you
yeah,
don't have the right material.
yeah, I understand. Yeah. My question would be like, what could you tell us? Let's say, I don't know if you could tell us about North Macedonia, or if you could tell us about your last job. You know, which challenge did you have? Like, what did you learn? Because you learn. We are coach, we teach, and you learn.
Yes.
What could you share with us in terms of experience in your last job, for example? Challenges, I don't know, problems with issues with the players, all these things. What could you share with us in terms of
Okay.
challenge you had or anything like this?
That okay. I'll start with my last job because I was first team head coach. I had a quite young squad, the youngest in the league, to be honest. I had obstacles out of football because we have a lot of problems in the team from a people that we spoke before that they didn't have the right intentions for the club. We had some financial issues with people who literally steal the money that was invested in the club. And in terms of the sport way, I had a problem with how to say it, will of the players to sacrifice something from themselves to become players for the serious level. The quality was there, the wish from their side to become a football players on a high level was literally zero. But again, it's not their fault. The fault, I say, it's with the people who worked with them when they were younger age, because when you work with a player to say 8 to 14, 15, 16, the coach is the one that needs to give the hunger to the player to become a pro. And
Yeah,
you need to prepare. Yes, it's difficult. You might give 1,000,000% from your side. You might give everything, but at the end of the day, you need to have luck. You need to have many, squares to be in the same cube, so you to become a top player. But uh, for me, to see a player which he have enormous potential and don't have the wish, he's lazy, he's not interested in that. For me, it's not good. I don't like it.
I understand. Yeah. Why am I asking this? Because nowadays I have been studying and looking for information for mental issues. And as a coach, we are coach, we are sometimes psychologists, we are sometimes, managers, we are sometimes, you have to manage soccer, football, you have to manage football, you have to manage people's life, you have to manage money, you have to manage a lot of things, and you have to manage mental issues, Nowadays, I see, especially young players, I see some kind of issue in terms of mental preparation or mental endurance, all these things, discipline issues. So, what's your opinion in terms of your experience in the last season or anything like this, in terms of mental issues from the players that you yeah.
First of all, you need to give something from yourself, from your soul to those players, to those people. First of all, they're human beings. And I always said to my players, even at 3 o'clock in the morning, if you have some issue, if you have something that is bothering your head, you're not mentally here, you're not mentally ready, talk to me. We'll find a solution if, I can help with that. But for me personal, I think that all the players, especially in the academies and the first team, they need to have 24/7 psychologist support because especially nowadays when we have a lot of online platforms, Instagram, TikTok, those kids are watching a lifestyle, watching all the wrong things from football that they see, and they want it quickly. It's not how it's gonna work for you. I'll say an example. Lamine Yamal 18 birthday party, is that good for a, I don't know, 16-year-old or 17-year-old player from Macedonia or from Greece to see it? No, it's not. And this guy, it's have the whole potential to become maybe one of the best players in the world. So at the club, you need to have a guy who will sit and will speak with those kids. Look, this is not the way how the thing's working. To sit and speak realistically about life and what life brings in a one football player life. So those things should be settled up from the younger age, in my
Yeah,
opinion.
yeah. It's difficult when young players are usually young people. This transitional window of life between teenager and adult, let's say 16, 17, 18, 19 years old, this window is always a challenge, for me. And I see in Brazil a lot of problems in this specific window because sometimes, because of the coach in the first team, they don't see the door open for them. You know what I mean? Like, let's say you are there with 17 years old, a lot of willpower, a lot of energy, a lot of dreams, working really hard every single day, and you look for your first team coach, and because people talk, the behaviors, you see new coaches coming, you see like the door will not open for you. You know what I mean? And I would like to listen your opinion. What do you think for in terms of this transition? I call this the bottleneck. Bottleneck. So it starts to get like a funnel. You know what I mean? And what's your opinion as a head coach in a first team, or as a head coach in the under-20s? So this transition, why do you think it's important for make sure the new talent look up for the professional players and say, hey, I have a chance, I will have my chance, and things like this?
I think first of all, the clubs, many of the clubs are lacking of identity, of structure in younger categories, in the academies, in the first team, because I will mention to say now Barcelona, okay, they have the same principles. Everything is the same since under 10 until the first team. And it's very easy. Also, they choose the right coach profile for the identity of the club. So you can't put to say Jose Mourinho to be coach of Barcelona. That's impossible because then they will not integrate the same players like they're integrated now. And this is a club's mistake. Many of the clubs want, especially on the Balkans, to say where I work and live at the moment, they want overnight success. They don't follow the long-term project. And that's why, even at my time when I was a player, when you see that on every 6 months they change coach, of course every coach is different he wants, but then you see, okay, where I will be in the next 2 years, this is not going anywhere, and this is a problem that the club itself needs to solve it. And uh, again, I will set an example. Bodo Glimt, it's a club that I watched maybe 3-4 years, and they have very good structure. They go in the long term, and they play one of the best footballs in Europe. I mean, they might not have the top quality players, but if you watch the game, you will see that they're seriously quality team. And that's, if you're in a football and you see the things with the right eyes, you will see that it's not a 1 year work, it's 5, 6, 7 years project, which now it's giving results. Also integration from the younger categories to say, I have one club that I worked. We have I might say, top quality generation of players, maybe the best in the country. Now it's their time to be integrated in the first team. And when I see the list of players who are actually in that first team, for me, I can't understand it how, because many of those players, to be honest, they don't have the quality maybe to be in the first team. And again, it's a lot of managerial games, a lot of money, and those are things that I don't like. If you in a club and you have the right principles, the right people in the club, it's very easy to integrate. Of course, you can't integrate 20 players in the first team, but you might integrate 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, which at the end of the day, they will maybe bring money for the club to invest more in those, young categories.
I have been looking for some articles about academies in England, and they say that no more than 5%. No, if you take the kids 14, 15, 16 years old, 13 years old in the academies, no more than 5%. It's going to be 2%, 3%. Only very small percent of kids will become a pro in that club. And I think they should do things differently, because if you look for these kids, all of them think they will go to the first team and they will play and they will have a good contract, a good opportunity, all these things. But, based on information we have, if you look for let's say 25 kids under 15 in a club, maybe 2 or 3 will become pro in that club. And I think they should, talk to parents and, try something different, because it's difficult. We know because we are working on this environment, but the parents, the family, they have no idea that maybe 2-3% will reach the top level. And unfortunately, this happened. Okay, coach, I have one question for you about futsal. South America futsal is like, completely normal kids formation, the academies, all these things. And what's your opinion? Have you ever before played before. What do you think about futsal, especially 12 years old down, below 12 years old? Did you have any experience with that? What's your opinion about futsal for young kids?
In my opinion, until 12 years of age, I'll say maybe until 11. It depends on the players. It's good to play it because it can help with the technique. It can help with thinking faster, giving the ball faster, running faster. But after 12, the game changed totally in terms of runnings, in terms of vision, and uh, I'm not allowing to my players to play futsal after that because first it's a totally different rhythm of the game, totally different needs of the game, touches with the ball. But before 12 years, it's perfect in my opinion.
Okay, all right. Yeah, usually what they do in Brazil, like in Santos, they play futsal since I don't know 5, 6 years old, or anything like this. And when they reach 12 years old or this age or something close to that, they start to do the transition, and then they start to play like 7v7, and then they move on. And it's interesting. I always ask the coaches about futsal because it's very cultural in South America, and like it's in Brazil, it's mandatory futsal in schools. It's
Mm-hmm.
very cultural. It's interesting. But I have been watching not futsal, but a lot of 5v5. In many
Street
many
football.
countries. Yeah, yeah. People are like, okay, coach, our time is running out. I would like to ask you my final question
Mm-hmm.
is,
Mm-hmm.
what is that? What's your view? Like all of us, you have dreams, all these things. As a coach, what's your view for you in the next like 5 years, 10 years? What are you looking for, in terms of education, in terms of experience? What are you looking for in your career for the next, let's say 5 years, anything like this? Your targets, your view.
Well, my target is first of all to educate myself as much as possible. I'm trying and I'm doing that almost every day. My idea is to get the pro license, which is essential for working on a top level, and then to work on a top level. I love England. I would love to coach and work in England, to be honest. But at the end of the day, with football, with the work that we have, you never know what will come. What will come next. As I said, our job is every day to become a better version of ourselves. Every day to learn, to evaluate, to be better, to try to innovate things, to bring new things, to teach them, to be taught, and at the end of the day, time will tell. But for sure, I see myself in a top level football.
Yeah, yeah. You speak three or four languages, right?
Yes, I speak English fluent. I speak all the Balkan languages, and I speak a little bit Italian. Not native, but it's okay.
Yeah, yeah, that's good because when I left Brazil 2010, I speak only Portuguese and I saw the difference once I learned English, everything.
Everything
So
opens.
yeah, exactly. Yeah. So speaking three, four different languages is awesome. Helps a lot. I believe and I wish you a lot of opportunities,
Thank
and I can see, you have your focus, you have your targets, and of course you have challenges, because in this
It's
environment
normal.
we are, yeah, exactly, yeah, yeah, and you have to keep going. Like the mental issues we have for the young players, even for us as a coach, how they say emotional intelligence, you know, to keep going. Yeah.
The interesting thing with me, to be honest, personally, I'm a person who wants to work under pressure. I honestly I don't feel it. For me, having a job without the pressure, why? Because when I start to work, I want to be. I'm not afraid of people around me or another coaches or clubs. Okay, I'm coming to work my job. I love the pressure. No problem. That's
Yeah.
how I can become better. Because to say tomorrow, if I have opportunity to go and coach in the Premier League, I would go. I don't have problem. Of course, I will make mistakes, but that's every coach makes mistakes, and that's how you will embrace it, get it, solve it. Let's go on.
Exactly. I cannot be afraid to, you know, keep going. Yeah. All right. Okay. Coach, how do you spell your name? Is difficult for me. Do you know how do you say?
Alexander.
Oh, okay. Because in Brazil have
Yes,
Alexandre.
it's the same.
Yeah, yeah.
It's the
But I
same.
was like, you know, I'm sure it's not Alexandre. I'm sure
No,
it's Alexandre.
in Brazil it will be like that, but here it's
Yeah.
Alexander, Alex, whatever.
Okay. All right. Okay, Coach Alex, Coach Alexander. Right.
Yes,
Thank you so much. You know, hopefully we have more conversations like that in the future. Thank you.
anytime. Thanks
Yeah, I
for
appreciate. All right. Thank you
thanks
so
for
much, Coach. I really appreciate. Thank you. Okay. Have
thanks
a
for
good
you.
day. Bye bye.
Thank you. Bye. Bye. Cheers.